Have you ever felt like you're in a prison and everything around you is a no and walls close in? This Lessons Learned explained how I've learned how the demons in our head build walls that become the strongest prisons of our life. I found years ago that what I tell myself becomes the inking of my thinking, both in printed word and in my vibration. I believe from mentoring so many people for so long now, and for consulting with so many companies for so long now, that we keep ourselves in our own hidden bell jar, if you will, and stew in our own sour air. There's a story and saying in Italian, non fasciarti la testa prima di romperla, which is you don't bandage your head until it's really broken. But 90% of our problems are us worrying about them. They don't happen that way. And the other 10% we don't act on because of fear. False expectations appearing real, but we should look at them as lessons learned when we fail. Isn't it better to do something? So we get out of our own head and we think, well, I could teach this way, I could do this to another client, or I could have everybody face this way in a class, or I could start this business, or I could sacrifice this to try that. Now we have to make sound business decisions when we move forward, but we also have to take just a little bit amount of heart risk and combine that with our head speak. Because if not, we stay confined. And I think one of the lowest depths of misery is putting your head down on a pillow at the end of a day and say, I wanted to, I thought about it, but I risked nothing because I'm just not good enough. Do you think the other people are good enough? Do you think other people are better when we're all made in the same image and likeness of ultimate power and creation and vibration? Seems to me that I've learned that I have to step up, and I will be the flavor of somebody, and somebody will be the flavor of what I'm selling, if you will. I have enough faith that God will put on everybody's path the people who need to cross for lessons and for success. And ultimately, isn't it all a success? So is it better to go to bed and feel safe, or is it better to go to bed and feel a little more accomplished? That doesn't always mean perfect. It just means I took a risk, and that's important. Otherwise, we stay in our own sour air, we don't do anything, and we tell ourselves stinking thinking that we're not good enough and all the other people are better. Petra Kolber's The Perfection Detox is such a great step program for people who need to go through this rethinking of our past, because each disappointment and nasty story that we have internalized has become our prison and one more bar out of which we look. Do I sometimes find myself in a prison bar? Sure. But another lesson learned I learned from 12th grade AP English, or Advanced Programming English, whatever that was for SAT scores, that two people looked out through the same prison bars. One focused on the mud, the other saw the stars. Your reality might always be the same, but when you choose to look out, you have to tell yourself no one else is better. And when I mentor with people, I have to tell you this. This is so true. Please internalize this for free. That, oh, I'm nervous, Lawrence. Oh, I'm not sure if this is the right hashtag. I'm not sure if my message is good enough. I'm not sure if I'm ready. But you've come to me because you want to be ready, right? If you are not at least half convinced of your message and your ability, then how can you possibly expect other people to buy into you? Metaphorically, or literally if you're selling a piece of plastic or something. So I've got to have you see that you have a message. So you step up. Do you have whatever it takes whenever a moment comes? Not everything. You've heard that saying, faith it till you make it. I believe faith what we want until we become what we want, but it starts with our own looking in the mirror and saying, I'm not 100% convinced, and I never may be 100% convinced, but I really know my message. I know what I want to say, and I'm going out there. I'm leaving this bathroom, whether it's down to the kitchen table or out in front of 3,000 people for a keynote address, because I'm convinced of my message and I have worth, and I'm going to share what I've learned. So, my friends, get out of your own way. Mary Poppins said it best. It's amazing and I use that word very, very consciously, what you can do, what you can accomplish when you learn how to get out of your own way. With love in my heart and a firm conviction to spread wellness without walls, I'm Lawrence, expressing my gratitude to you for allowing me to share my lessons learned thus far. And I conclude this lessons learned about bars and internal demons and our own internal prisons by asking you, what would you accomplish right now if you knew you could not fail and get out of, step aside of your own way?